Have you ever trusted someone so completely that you never imagined they could be hiding a secret? Someone whose voice brought you comfort, whose presence made you feel safe, and whose promises felt unbreakable. Most people believe betrayal comes with warning signs. They imagine dramatic arguments, suspicious messages, or obvious clues. But the truth is often much different. Sometimes betrayal arrives quietly. Sometimes it hides inside ordinary days, familiar routines, and comfortable conversations. Sometimes it waits patiently for years before revealing itself in a single unexpected moment. For Emily Carter, that moment arrived on an ordinary Tuesday evening. Nothing about the day seemed unusual. The sun was beginning to set, casting a warm golden glow across the neighborhood. Children rode bicycles along the sidewalk. Sprinklers clicked rhythmically across freshly cut lawns. Neighbors waved to one another as they returned home from work. It was the kind of peaceful evening people often take for granted. Inside her home, Emily moved through her familiar routine. The kitchen smelled of fresh herbs and roasted vegetables. A soft playlist filled the background while she prepared dinner. Every movement felt automatic after so many years. She knew exactly where everything belonged. The dishes, the utensils, the family photographs displayed along the wall. Those photographs told the story of a life she was proud of. There was the picture from her wedding day. Emily still remembered how nervous she had been walking down the aisle. Her hands trembled as she approached Daniel. Yet the moment she saw his smile, every fear disappeared. Looking back now, she remembered believing she was stepping into a future filled with certainty. Another photo showed them standing in front of their first house. They had almost nothing at the time. The mortgage payments seemed impossible. The roof leaked whenever it rained. The kitchen needed repairs. Yet they were happy. At least they seemed happy. The memories continued. Weekend road trips, family celebrations, holiday dinners, anniversary vacations. 12 years of shared experiences captured in frames hanging across the walls. To anyone looking from the outside, Emily and Daniel appeared to have built the perfect life. Friends admired their relationship. Neighbors complimented their marriage. Family members often described them as an example of commitment. Emily had spent years believing the same thing. She believed they were a team. She believed they faced challenges together. She believed honesty connected everything. Perhaps that was why she ignored the small changes that began appearing months earlier. At first, they seemed harmless. Daniel started staying later at work. He claimed new responsibilities demanded more of his attention. Emily understood. She supported his ambitions. She encouraged his career growth. Whenever he arrived home exhausted, she reassured him that his hard work would eventually pay off. Then came the business trips, the unexpected meetings, the weekends interrupted by urgent phone calls. Again, she accepted his explanations. After all, trust means believing someone even when circumstances are inconvenient. At least that's what Emily always believed. Over time, however, something subtle began changing. Daniel laughed at messages he never shared. His phone rarely left his side. Became protective of his schedule. Simple questions received vague answers. Sometimes Emily caught him staring into space with an expression she couldn't understand. Whenever she asked what was wrong, he smiled and assured her everything was fine. And because she loved him, she wanted to believe him. The human heart has a remarkable ability to protect itself from painful possibilities. We often choose comforting explanations over uncomfortable truths. Emily was no different. She convinced herself she was imagining things. She blamed stress. She blamed work. She blamed her own tendency to overthink. What she didn't realize was that her instincts were trying to warn her. Not because they possessed magical knowledge, but because the truth often leaves tiny fingerprints long before it fully reveals itself. A delayed answer, a forced smile, an unexplained absence, a conversation that suddenly stops when someone enters the room. Individually, these moments seem insignificant. Together, Vorkirchen tool. Together, they create a brief pattern. Emily couldn't see the pattern yet, but she was getting closer. Closer than she realized. That evening, Daniel was preparing supplies in the backyard. The neighborhood planned a community gathering later that week, and Daniel volunteered to help organize it. From the kitchen window, Emily could see him carrying boxes across the patio. He looked normal, relaxed, comfortable, exactly like the man she had known for more than a decade. Yet appearances can be deceiving. As she continued cleaning dishes, Daniel stepped outside while speaking through a wireless headset connected to his phone. The phone itself remained inside on the kitchen counter. Emily barely noticed. Why would she? It was just another ordinary evening, another ordinary phone call, another ordinary moment. At least that's what it seemed. Trico's future often changes quietly. There are no warning sirens, no dramatic music, no sign announcing that your life is about to take an unexpected turn. Instead, everything appears completely normal until suddenly it isn't. Emily would soon learn that lesson, and once she did, there would be no way to return to the life she thought she knew, because hidden beneath years of trust, routine, and familiar comfort, a secret had been growing. A secret protected by carefully chosen words, carefully planned schedules, carefully maintained appearances. And now, after years of remaining hidden, that secret was about to reveal itself through one simple mistake. A mistake that would change everything. A mistake that began with a phone call Emily was never supposed to hear.